What's up, guys? Welcome back to Art by Flan. Today we are doing something that's actually inspired by some older artwork of mine. I couldn't think about what to draw this week. I was kind of shot for ideas and I kind of procrastinated on it. I'm a terrible procrastinator. So I was just going through some of my old work that I had stashed away in like my DeviantArt storage or whatever, and trying to find maybe something to do a redraw on, maybe, and well, that didn't happen, but I did find an old picture of, I used to draw myself as a cow a lot. I wouldn't say it was like a persona or anything, I just identified with cows. But I found an old picture I did, and it was of a mermaid cow mixture, and I called it a sea cow, and I thought that was so cute. It was such a cute idea, so I brought it back. I drew one of my characters. Her name is Coco. She is in fact a cow. And I drew her as a cute little sea cow mermaid. So that's what I'm working on here. I really had to speed. I'm finding more and more lately that I have to really speed up the line art portion to get it, you know, not taking up the majority of the video, because line art does take me a while, and there were several places, especially with this particular piece, where I just straight up redrew whole parts of it for the line art. I just wasn't, I don't know, the sketch was pretty rough when I picked it, or when I did it at work. And the sketch was pretty rough when I did it, and I wasn't happy with a lot of the proportions and a lot of the shapes of things, so I ended up going back and redoing some of those via the line art, rather than just resketching and redoing the line art. And her tail specifically, you can see here, I do a lot of reshaping and redrawing of her tail, just to get it, you know, a size, I guess, that looked okay to me. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy with how this came out. It's really sort of cute. I say sort of cute. It's really, really cute. I'm really happy with it. And I think the initial idea of a sea cow was really sort of cute. You know, instead of drawing a dugong or a manatee, like, apparently there's a difference between those two. I thought a dugong and a manatee were the same thing, and they were both sea cows, but apparently only a dugong is a sea cow. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's what I read the other day when I randomly Googled sea cow. But here I am going into Photoshop, putting up the colors. I think this is the last video you'll see in this version of Photoshop, which is CS6, because I recently upgraded to Photoshop CC. So any future Photoshop shots will be in that new version of Photoshop that I got. I mean, it's basically the same thing. I just have to, even if it's an exact copy, a newer, updated version of a program you use all the time, you still gotta get used to it. So I'm still trying to get used to the new Photoshop. So I think next week's video you'll see me using that one rather than this one. With Coco's color scheme, and so Coco started out as sort of a, what's the word I'm looking for? Not trademark character, but kind of a mascot. That's what I'm looking for, a mascot. For what I called my production company. When I was in like high school, I did everything under Chocolate Sushi Studios. And Coco was kind of my little mascot for that. She was a little chocolate colored cow with lots of pink accents, because that's the kind of stuff I did. That's the theme I wanted for my quote-unquote production studio. But yeah, so I really love that color scheme, the pinks and browns. It just makes me think of ice cream, and it makes me happy. So yeah, that's Coco's color scheme. She's a little chocolate and pink cow, and she's super cute. And I used to do a lot of anthro or furry art or whatever when I was in high school. I went through a phase. I still do occasionally. It's not, you know, something I draw all the time. I'm mostly definitely a people person. But occasionally I do get the urge, and it's usually Coco, because like I said, she's super cute, and I love cows, and she's just so adorable. I'll just keep saying that over and over. She's adorable. So here I am just going in and adding her spots, and then I'm going back in and doing like the details of the inside of her ears and all that. Like, her spots throw me off later when I'm doing shading, because it just looks weird on her. I guess it'd be her left from our perspective ear, but right on her left ear there. It looks a little weird when I finish doing the shading and the gradients and stuff. But I mean, I still think it's cute. You don't really notice it unless you're looking for it, I guess. But I notice a lot of my videos are, for the most part, the majority of them is line art and me shading hair. So I usually try and speed those up, you know, a bit faster than everything to make it sort of proportional. I don't want it to be the majority of my videos to be me doing line art and hair, so I try to speed up those clips a bit faster than I speed up other portions of it, so you don't have to see, you know, I'm not the YouTube channel known for, hey, come watch me draw. I just draw line art and hair all of the time. It'd be better if I did characters with shorter hair, but you know what? I love long hair. I love to draw long hair, and I love to color long hair, and I will always probably be one of those people who does long hair. I'm still working on shading faces. I'm not particularly happy with hers, I guess. It's not bad, but it's not great. I'm not where I want to be on them, so I'm still practicing. I haven't been doing a lot of digital art unless it's for a video this week. I got some Prismacolor, Prismacolor colored pencils this past weekend when I was out of town, and I've been using those a lot, and they're a lot different from what I'm used to, because, you know, prior to this I've just been using regular Crayola colored pencils, and they're not bad by any means. If that's what you have, definitely work it, because you can do some great stuff with those. I've been using them for a lot of years just for, you know, funsies. But I got some Prismacolor, and they're so different. Like, artist grade pencils are so different. Well, these are. I haven't used a lot of other artist grade colored pencils, but these are so different from what I'm used to, because like, Crayola is a much harder pencil. Like, it's got a much harder lead, but then you have, you know, the Prismacolors I have are soft core, so they're a much softer, easier to blend pencil, and it's just been such a weird change. And the paper I have in my sketchbook, it doesn't like it too much. Like, there's a lot of white spaces, so I usually use the back, and that just throws off the whole sketchbook. But you'll see that in, you know, when I finish a sketchbook and do an upcoming sketchbook tour or whatever. So here I'm just adding in her highlights. Like, I didn't feel like there was a good highlight to base color. There wasn't a good ratio of color in her hair, so I end up going back later, and you'll see me, here I am, thickening her highlights to make them kind of pop out more. Just adding the shading. I wasn't sure about her scales. I was like, well, she's a sea cow, and I guess sea cows are technically mammals. Like, I spent a lot of time thinking about whether or not, you know, mermaids would have scales, because technically they would be mammals, I guess. I don't know, it all depends. There's a lot of sea mermaid science. Sea mermaid, like, there's other, well, I guess it could be like mermaids. Anyway, there's a lot of mermaid science going on in my brain, and so, you know, I wasn't sure, but I like how they came out. I think they're really super cute. And here I am just adding a little extra detail to her sash. It was looking kind of plain, so I just put some stripies on there, and then I thought, well, I need more stripies, because doing stripies was fun, so I just picked a thinner brush and put even more stripies on there. So yeah, give her a little bit of texture, give her a little fun. Here I am working on her eyes. I thought I'd do them in Paint Tool SAI, but I wasn't like how they're coming out. So when I went back into Photoshop to change up the color of her shading, I finished them up there. And so you can see on her left ear there, the shading looks weird, so it makes it look like there's like just a random line of light color. I try to fix it later on, but it doesn't really work out well, so I end up just leaving it. It's not bad. So here I'm putting in the highlights on her lips, which I forgot, and on her little horns, which I also forgot. So I think here I am going back and fixing her eyes. I really do. I don't notice it when I'm drawing, but when I'm coloring and doing like pupils and stuff, I do notice it. A lot of my eyes have very oval shapes. Like, a lot of my pupils are very oval in shape. I blame anime for that, particularly Sailor Moon, but I really want to work more on getting like rounder eyes, because I feel like that's, I don't know, it looks better for me. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with the way I do eyes. I'm just not as happy with it as I could be. Here I am changing some of the highlight colors, making it blend a little bit better. And now I'm going in and adding the gradients for just a little bit more depth. Originally, when I did the gradients on her tail, my roommate said it looked the same color as her sash. And I guess it kind of does look similar. I could see the difference, but I ended up lightening those anyway. And we should be shifting into the finished piece here in just a couple of seconds. If you like what you see, don't forget to click the like button. And if you want to see more, don't forget to click that subscribe button. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Bye-bye.